place is so lonely. There's a fire so strong. It feeds through my thoughts and it changes my words. It changes my vision, but it takes so long to get through. Bundle of nails, a shake when I'm talking. My trembling fingers find it all too much to bear. A bundle of nails is set for the taking. I need to stop shaking or I blow my chance again. Take a bow to the strangest of feelings. Is it really so strange? I'm lost in the haze, but I felt it before. I remember heard it in an old song, and I know how it feels, 'cause I'm a bundle of nails. I shake when I'm talking. My trembling fingers find it all too much to bear. A bundle of nails, it's set for the taking. I need to stop shaking or I blow my chance again. Don't say what you wanna say. Sleepless nights are here to stay. I wear away the carpet in my room. Now well before the breakout day, my fingernails now been chewed away. I'm starting on my knuckles pretty soon. Maybe Listen and you'll hear the heartbeat of a universe teeming with force. See all the forms and the faces of nature taking its course. And feel all the wonderful motion flowing through things far and near. Nature will share her secrets when we are ready to hear. Energy, these are a few of your faces, glowing in timeless places, bringing our lives new graces. Energy, there is no living without you. We must keep learning about you. Now is the time to find how to. Energy, you are profound. You make the world go round and round. You make the world go round. You make the world go round. You make the world go round.
Thank you, Energy. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? Hope you're having a nice Friday night. Hope you all have a great weekend. Here we go. How are you? I'm doing good. Nobody panic, but I do have another Dort Light ready to go here. It's the weekend, you know it is. Don't panic. It's a hot Dort summer, all right? I know. 2.9% of the alcohol per volume of this thing is dangerous, but I think we'll be all right. Got my trusty Raptor Claw bottle opener. This is good stuff. We're playing more Erdtree. Didn't do much last time. We just got some Skibidi fragments, so we're ready to start taking on some bosses tonight, which I am very excited about. That'd be good. Lots of good games to play right now. I am enjoying Tokon. I haven't been able to do too much, but messing around. I did some matches with Sean last night after the podcast. It was a lot of fun. Enjoying it quite a bit. So maybe we'll do some of that on the stream at some point here. I'm sure we'll do some Tokon stuff on Giant Bomb tomorrow as well. Don't worry. But super, super fun. Tolkoto. God, it's right there. Thank you for the stream streak there, Marcus. Appreciate that. Oh, fuck, Mary Kill, margaritas, daiquiris, and whiskey sours. Okay. Easy Mary margaritas. Margaritas by far my favorite on there. Kill whiskey sours. I don't like the whole egg white thing with whiskey. I love whiskey. The whole egg white thing with the whiskey sours, not for me. Daiquiris, we'll fuck a daiquiri. That's fine. Marcus Aurelius, thank you for the stream streak. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well here. This Dort's for you. Or this Dort's to you. Damn it, Stacey. That's pretty good. Is Surly beer popular outside Minnesota? I haven't seen Surly over here anyways. Jeez, that's good. For like a low calorie beer. This is a 90 calorie beer. Now, granted, compared to a Miller Lite, I think that's still quite a few calories. I think Miller Lite is more like 45. Let's see. Miller Lite calories. Never mind. A Miller Lite has fucking more calories than this. Has 96. Holy fucking shit. Why would I ever get a Miller Lite again if I can get these? Holy fucking shit. I hope this takes off a little bit. Again, this is a more local brewery here. Well, they're local, but they have a pretty wide reach around this area. They cross states for sure. I know a few of you get Great Lakes Brewing Company, but they're based in Cleveland, and they just released this light version of their signature beer, which is Dortmunder Gold. It's very good. Yeah, this is a lower alcohol per volume, which I know, like, for some people may be a downside, but kind of nice once you get a little older. All right, Shadow of the Erdtree. Get to that. It's been a little bit. I haven't been able to play this since last weekend. We were busy with Endocopia on Monday. Wednesday I was busy with some family stuff. Yeah, they distribute pretty widely. I've even seen it in Florida. I saw their Christmas sale in Florida at a liquor store when I was there with my girlfriend. So, hey, P88 box, how's it going? Make sure this is gonna work. All right. That's right. I had to move this last time, so I think it was right around here. I'll make sure. All right, gotta change the game. There's Vendicopia. Been really enjoying Big Walk by playing on the site. I've not watched Spider-Man yet. Probably some point this weekend. Peyton's watching it right now, I think. Forget when AJ gets back from his Disney World trip. He's at the very first Mickey's Not So Scary Christmas party right now. All right, so I think we're just gonna go through here, and this is where the dancing lion is. So yeah, what did Griffin think of Golden Eye? Curious. We do have to record the summer cocktail soon. We actually have somebody send us a box with a nice letter, ingredients, and the recipe for a cocktail. So we're gonna be making that. There's new number one. Yeah, I get that. Look, that's fine. I don't understand the Bomberman 64 hate. That's all. Has he done Mario 64 Ocarina of Time though? Because I have to say, he's done Mario 64. I think it's Golden Eye's better than that. Not yet. Okay, that's fine then. Is this even open? Yep. Oh yeah, you see Cedar Point, which is the kind of like Ohio super roller coaster park. They announced that they're going to be doing a Diablo haunted house thing this Halloween season. So I might have to go check that out. Whoa, Jesus. Calm down. Just calm down, stuff. Oh, alright. Here we go. Alright, we got a good amount of Skibidi tree fragments to start this. So I think we're in pretty decent shape. I think there's one right in here, it looks like, right? I think that's what that is. Is this where the scorpion lady is? I thought she was later, but there's so many scorpions right here. Pretty sure she's later. Okay, what do you got? Oh, yay, Spirit Ash. Okay. Yeah, I like Star Fox 64 more than GoldenEye quite a bit, obviously. I might think Star Fox 64 is maybe the third best game on the console after the heavy hitters. Still got Perfect Dark ready to go sometime here. Oh, this idiot's not gonna see it coming. Yeah, there's my 64 tier list. I know Sin and Punishment, though. I put that pretty high on there once I finally played that. Whoa. Got a little lucky there. Yeah, we'll be doing Perfect Dark for sure. Kind of want to do World Is Not Enough at some point as well. I never really played much Windback. By much, I don't know if I've ever played a second of Windback. Well. Alright. Jet Force Gem I played a little bit of. That's another one I would like to do at some point. We are playing the Shining Forces. I started Shining Force 2. It definitely was, I definitely found parts of it really neat. I wasn't bad at it. I kind of got walled. I don't know. I think I was maybe doing something wrong, but I kind of couldn't get very far. It also, like, the pixel art was amazing, but it's one of those, like, 90... Like, Phantasy Star 4 has this problem, too, where the translation... It's not just that it's bad, but it's written at, like, a first-grade reading level, which is a little strange. Let's see what's in here first. I feel like this is, like, a shortcut unlock. I'm thinking I'm right. I know a lot of people like Shining Force 3 on Saturn, and I know we only got like part 1 of that over here, but there's, I think, translations. I've not done any of the other Shining games, like Shining in the Darkness or whatever. Is this even open yet? Nope. It felt like I think Shining Force 2 you could like redo fights a lot, so I think I kind of just probably needed to grind at some point. I don't know. Oh, it's under that waterfall. Yeah. Ready for you. Cute. The Shining? Well, I never read the book, but I think that movie's great. Is that new DLC real? I think people just got confused about an update coming to coincide with the Switch version just to add some of the cosmetic stuff, or like, there's like some new starting classes or something. I don't know. That felt good. I don't know if I want to go down this creepy well yet. I'm pretty excited for Fortune's Weave now. It's funny. You think even some podcasts like I just don't feel excited for it. I don't know. Now that we're much closer, I'm pretty excited. Yeah, it's a shame Mortal Kombat 2 didn't seem very good. I didn't like the first one, so I kind of was skeptical. I remember the first one, like, everybody's initial buzz was positive on it. And I thought, I'm like, oh, it wasn't very good. It's really dark in some of these areas. There's a couple games I'll get more forward to than Fortune's Weave. God, did I even include Fortune's Weave when I did my most anticipated games for the rest of the year? I think even at that point, I still wasn't feeling the excitement. Really looking forward to Star Wars Racer, honestly. That I can't wait for. Thought that was gonna miss. Oh, somebody up there hitting me. See, I never liked racing wheels. They never felt good to me for racing games. I don't know why. I always preferred a controller. But that's a lot of the specialty controllers. I've never liked arcade sticks. I would like buy into the hype, be like, I gotta get an arcade stick to play this fighting game. Hi, Abby, how's it going? Hope you're having a good day. Oh, I already found another one of these. Yeah, Abby has a new podcast over at Jackbox, I saw. Really neat. Your dad let you drive your real car after I drove and didn't crash with the racing wheel in Gran Turismo. There you go. The test. I was baby. I didn't even get my driver's license until I was 19. $30. There you go. I respect it. I only got it. I didn't really want it for a while. I only got it because I started going to a college that was like a 15-minute drive. And I was beginning to feel some shame having my grandpa take me. You ever do the driving on family road trips? No, my dad is pretty intense about doing the driving. He maybe lets my older brother do it sometimes back in the day. We're driving. Oh, I was doing okay there for a bit. Oh, okay. I'm kind of like stuck in this wall. I'm doing me and my brothers are driving to Chicago next weekend. I'm sure I'll do some of the driving for that. All right, enough of you. Thank you to butts.jpg for following. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Oh god, the death counter. Why isn't it not showing? Oh, that's right, because I turned it off because of that other game. There it is. Should be working. There it goes. It's there. We haven't died yet, so we're good. Thank you for the reminder there. Okay. I did this area at the preview event I did for this game, I remember. You kind of walk up here. I think there's an NPC boss fight up ahead that actually... I remember watching Grub struggle on this NPC for a moment. History in Diablo 4 and Switch 2. Maybe. Especially if I can carry over my characters. I don't know if you can. Would you ever let Dan drive? Not at this point, no. He said too many things about how he's a terrible driver and shouldn't be trusted, that I'm going to take his advice and not trust him.
Those stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death in the embrace of
Here he
merciless
is.
flame.
Yeah, this guy was hard for some reason, but I was also much worse at the game.
My words, graceless heathen, thou shalt
That's
not
better.
evade the flame of mercy.
I think this might be a Skibidi tree fragment. Nope, never mind. We just get a bad... Raises attack power after defeating an enemy. Meh. I feel like there's a Skibidi tree fragment somewhere in this area I need to find. Alright. Let me actually open up my map real quick. I do have a map for Skibidi tree fragments. Look, I did the hunt for them before. I ain't doing that again. Where is the map? God. Shouldn't be so hard. Okay. Yeah, there's kind of one around this area. Like, it seems like I'm right on top of it. What am I looking at? Maybe it's a little bit past this. Yeah, that's actually a dead end, huh? It's just that guy. I'm gonna go up here. Yeah. Was that it? Just some arrows? Okay. We can go up the buildings over here, I recall. There's like a patrol guy up ahead or on the other side over here. Again, I've done this area a couple of times because I did it back in the preview event for this game. Remember it being pretty difficult. And granted, we had preset builds. Ah! And I was still sword and shielding. Big Walk was great. It was so much fun. Holy crap. There were some awesome puzzles. I mean, there really is an incredible missed element to that game. Some string. You always need those in these kinds of adventure games. I think I made that joke the last time I played this. Good Sam and Max reference for you. Whoops, I need to do that. The storeroom key, huh? Seek checkpoint, and then seek bridge. I think over here's the dead end, but there might be something over here. Ah, yeah! Throwing daggers. What am I, J.K. Leeds? Does Big Walk have a deadbeat dad too? I don't think so. What's over here though? Ow. There's gonna be, yeah, there's gotta be something in here. Oh boy, oh, that's fine. Oh, there's two. Oh, he's not dead. Okay, ow, ow, don't poison me. Whew. Oh, a bone bow. Whoa. Plenty of music in this area. Maybe you'll beat Ikaruga one of these days. I'd like to beat Ikaruga someday. It's largely a matter of concentration and persistence. I see. I know what this is. There we go. See, Ghosts and Goblins I just don't really have the patience for. I think I, like, save scummed it one time, like, just to see it. I don't know. I don't feel some amazing pull with that series. The childhood grudge. Yeah, I get it. All right. Getting old beats the alternative, Siege. That's what I always say, especially lately as I get ready to turn 40. God, so many of you guys here. And let's see. These birds, I remember being a big pain in my ass. Yeah, a lot stronger than last time I was here. Ah, God. Oh, that guy's got it. Over here. With the revered spirit ash, stop! I don't want that. God. No one cares. Yeah, remember that guy. What's over here, though? Oh, wait. Just, I see. Oh, Mike, you forgot to mention today, but Donald? What? People love Donald. That was more grub than me. Everyone loves Donald. People liked the Donald pick. People were like, that's a cool pick. Come on. Everyone's favorite pothead. That's funny. I see what you did there. You know, I didn't sign up for the network test. I kind of forgot. Seems like a lot of people got in. More than anything else, I'm just curious for other people to tell me what that game actually is. Oh, it's Black Eagles were Antifa, actually. But I remember her making some pretty intense decisions on her own in the middle of that game. Ah! Where am I? I don't think I wanted to come down here. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no. Shavoa, thank you so much for 3 months. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I mean, she was against the church. That's nice, but, like, yeah. I don't think she was at the end of that, like, and now I will not be the only person in charge of everything anymore. Well, I might as well see what's down here since I fell. It looks like just an item. Fly mold. My homies love fly mold. Hey, look, I like her too. I just have the sense to feel ashamed of it. Like, I did 2 playthroughs, and I liked them both, but I probably liked my Black Eagles more than my Golden Deer one. There's just a lot. I think there's more characters I like than Black Eagles. Okay. Back up here. I think this tree's where a Skibidi fragment will be, hopefully, finally. I keep saying that. I love how many materials you get in this DLC. Was always kind of messed up in the I think in all the other routes you have to eventually kill the other 2 leaders, which always felt a little messed up sometimes. I think I killed a lot of the other characters actually. Now, God, with the revered spirit ash, for the love of God, I know there's a Skibidi fragment somewhere in this area. Yeah, I wonder if I bet they're not going to. I bet they're going to work a way around it, but I wonder if there's going to be a canon ending in Fortune Weaves. Did anybody ever play that DLC with, like, that 4th underground house, by the way? I didn't. I have no idea. Pretty cool. Yeah, it was all right. Oh, geez, these guys. Oh, boy. Could have been worse. Oh, we're at the boss door. But if that network test beta thing from a time like a year ago was them working out the kinks for Dust Buds, the kinks for Dust Buds, no, I don't think they made up a game just to test the network for Dust Buds. Why can't I find this skip? I mean, I probably don't need it right now, but I'm going to have to get this thing eventually. I need a bigger map. This map is too small. Oh, this is good. Okay, 9. On the ground? Right before the giant scorpion room. This one's tricky to locate and requires making progress through the town. Okay, what part? Oh. Okay. Interesting. I think I know where it is. I did touch that. Grace, right? Alright. I need to find that room with the really large skeletons again. I don't exactly remember. I think it was this shortcut. Might get me over there. There it is. Alright, remember when I was dancing around over here? Apparently it's somewhere related to this area. Why didn't I just keep going? I was so close. Ah! Jesus. Ah! There it is. And what's this? Bad bouquet. I wonder if that's like a quest item or something. Alright. We're fine. Alright, it's probably we're gonna keep endurance for a while. Maybe forever. Dancing Lion. Let's see how this goes. This can be really hard, or maybe not bad. That's a talisman? Oh, I'll have to check out what it is later.
O horn-decked beast from higher sphere delivered, take root inside the tower sculpted keepers, and perched within, we beg of thee, rise.
Thing having a human hand is interesting. Creepy.
Dance of wood,
Yeah, like the ranking of Golden Knight's fine.
cruelty,
As long as ultimately it's not above Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time, it's fine.
cleanse away the strumpet's fire.
What difficulty did he play it through? Same as me? But it was so hard. Hey Carl, how's it going? Oh, I rolled. Oh, it's a rough start. Wasn't a ton of damage we did there, gotta say. Ow. It's fine. Ah. At some point we're gonna get a bleed. Oh no! Yep. It's lightning time, it's fine. Oh, ow. Okay. Going through these hills pretty quickly. Ah! Oh, there's the bleed. Oh. Ooh! Oh, ice. Ice is rough. Ice is rough. Ice is rough. Yeah. Damn it. Oh, don't proc the ice. Oh boy. What now? Ah, pretty good first try. Some bosses are programmed to attack you if you try to heal, not all of them. Great, cool. Very useful for us. Thank you, Drum Kid, for 14 months. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, shit. Ah, come on. I rolled. Oh, that sucks. Oh, couldn't really see. Oh boy, fine. Oh shit. Oh, barely out of range of that. Oh, dang. Oh, shit. Got me. I don't know if I had the death counter yet back then, Idiot Box, when I first did it. Ah, always late to that. Oof. What's happened there, Mike? Man, I'm missing a lot. Gotta get some hits in. There you go. Ah! Oh, there's more there. Oh, jeez, I didn't think. It's fine. Oof. Yeah. Oh boy, lucky there. Yeah. Oh, hey! 500 deaths! Cheers! There we go. Whew. At 1,000 cocaine. Okay, fine. Oh, didn't notice he was doing that. Good start though. Ah, never mind. Why say anything? That's a hungry hippo attack. Yeah, look out for that. Oh boy. Is she landing at me? Nope. Ah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, I rolled into it, my bad. When's the last time I did cocaine? I can honestly say never. I gotta say, never did cocaine. What was that? A shot of? That was just some burbies, some bourbon. Burbies for Mikey's. Hey, McOrgan, thank you for the stream streak. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, fuck me. This should not be that hard to dodge, I feel like. Just bad. Look. Oh. Ah! Jeez. Maybe I should have double healed, I don't know. Oh, nice bleed. Ah! Don't die. Okay. Phase transition. Double heal, we're good. Ah! Roll! Oh my god, Mike. No! Yeah, embarrassing. Well, so far that first attempt was the best one. When was the last time I had an apple? There was like a video of me doing it when I was like 1. What is I doing? God, it looked like I knew what I'm doing there for a moment. There they are. Can't see. Oh! Don't, yeah, shake it off, buddy. I know there's a third one there. Yeah, I heard about GoldenEye's ranking. That's it. Whoop. Ah, shit. That was dangerous. Oh no! Yeah. Yeah. It's like not really going that bad. I'm just making mistakes. Oh, I didn't get my souls. Well, we're free of that now. Not too important. Oh, didn't think he was attacking there for some reason. That was greedy. Oh boy. Ah, really attacking at bad times. There we go. We're stabilizing. Got lucky there. Ah, Mike. Oh, really? Already? Isn't it a little bit early for that? Nice bleed. Oh, boy. What are you doing? Oh. No, Mike! Roll! Jesus. That's fine, whatever. Come on. Oh, yeah, mistake. How'd that miss? Oh! Jeez. Oh, frostbite. Not good. Oh, I don't know. If I wasn't frostbite, we might have a chance there. Oh, damn. Never mind. Okay. What am I doing? Okay, so a delayed mic there. Ooh, God, that's an awful start. Oh, man, I'm just not rolling. Come on. Oh. Mike, learn the timing of that. I'm guessing this is my last chance for the bet. I would have gotten this one. I'm mad at myself. Try using a rune arc. You know what? It's the last one for the bet. No one says we can't. No one says we can't. Where are those? They gotta be pretty high up. They're important. Let's just reset items. Tools. Is it a tool? Yep. Yeah, we don't have many of these. Now we're unstoppable. Come on. Really? Alright, never mind. This is what happens. Hey, babe, how's it going? This is what happens when you fucking use a rune arc. This is what happens. Why? This is why you don't. That was the movie, babe. Alright. Oh my god. Why am I so bad at this attack? Ugh, every time with that. I think I'd see it coming. Yeah, I do all my rolls so early. There we go. Finally kind of got away with it. This. Alright, that's the big combo. Oh, jeez. Yeah, break your room. Ah. Yep. These are actually kind of nice. These aren't too bad. Dodge. Gotta almost be bleeding here. Whoa, lucky Mike. Okay, it's fine. He's done. I don't remember this. Oh, he's just sending the tornado at me. Neat, actually. That's bad. Ice, yep. This ice one's hard, man. Stupid Mike. It's alright. Oh, what are you doing now? Back to lightning? That's okay. I think I can handle lightning for the most part. Ah, why did I say anything? Oh, I'm running out of heals, baby. I need you to bleed really badly. Oh, here we go, last seal. Just don't get hit anymore. Oh, that's huge. Just die! The green! Die! Okay, there we go. Was that right on 11? That's funny. Whew. Got for this flask. You all laugh at my healing flask. Looking pretty good now. It was indeed 11. How about that? I like that boss. This was fun. I'm not even enough for a level up quite yet. So there's two things. This thing, like... Christian, do you have to be a constant hater? Jesus Christ. What did I do to you besides... It's funny, is it? Don't tell him it's funny. Don't encourage him. You're all my bullies. I feel like I know you can't actually do anything up here yet. Can you ever do anything up here? I always forget what this is. What is this? It makes me laugh all. It's a nervous laugh. Okay, except for you, babe. You don't bully me. Unless I ask you to. Oh my god, with the revered spirit ash. Yeah, we burned this eventually, and then, like... Isn't this, like, where the last area is? I don't know. That's right. Yeah, I know there's nothing up here. I just gotta check. Oh, there's an item. Tower of Shadow message. Alita. Alright, so we did all that. Now I think we do this castle. There's any other Shadow Tree fragments I think I should get. Yeah, there's one in the castle somewhere. Oh, looks like we already got that one, actually. Yeah, that one. Okay. I'm gonna get another drink. Be right back, everybody. Hold. No, not thwarting it up. Switching to a Diet Dr. Pepper. Come on, I can't handle another 2.9%er. Holy shit. There was a sequel to Angels in the Outfield. It was Angels in the End Zone. It was direct to video, I believe. But Demons in the Dugout does sound fun. Which way's the critical path? Well, where's this going? Did I get into the Dustbloods beta? I didn't even register. I might be a press thing. I don't know. Ugh. Stupid dogs. Huh, what is this? Do I want to be here? Yep. 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 This better say dog. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think everyone did seem to get in who registered, so I probably should have. I mean, you're all very special. Up we go. What am I flashing? Is my rune arc sword? Hey, Arbitrary Water, thank you for the raid. Hope you had a good stream. Hope you're playing something fun. Oh, ow, ow, ow. Doing some Elden Ring Dustbloods. Elden Ring Shadow of the Earth Tree. Was my Wondrous Flask still going? Did I? Oh, you know what? I used it instead of... Right, I get what happened. I see what happened there. I'm smart. Oh, we're gonna open up a gate. I think Rellana might be at the end of this. I hope, anyways. I forget. But I remember that fight being awesome. Liked Rellana a whole lot. Ah, shortcut. Yeah, the double moon thing. Yeah, you showed that barricade his boss over there, buddy. String. Ah! Oh, I thought that was one of those rolly boys, just a little thing there. Nice if you would never have string. That's right, there is no string on him. Oh, I remember these assholes. I remember them teleporting a lot. Pretty sure there's an NPC fighting in that little courtyard. Yep. Oh, jeez. Jesus, where'd you come from? I was a little busy, you know. Hey. What's over there? I should have checked everything over there. Now I got distracted. But what is this? Oh, I knew it. There's something cool. Huh, a shield I won't use. Hey, Mr. Sips, thank you for 9 months. Appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. Hope you have a great weekend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Probably another Spirit Ash. Rellana's cameo? What is that? Stance. Well, we're definitely in the Rellana place. Shadow room. Ah! They keep jump scaring me. Ah! Again, jeez. Where are you guys coming from? And where the journey may lead me, let this prayer be my guide. Though it takes me so far away. Why do I look so messed up? Always remember your pride. Okay. You ever see... No, I haven't listened to Hades Town yet. I do want to. I'll get there. Ow. Cheap shot. Oh, don't kill me. Oh, boy. Phew. Brent Floss made a Wrath of Khan musical, really? That's nice. I'm glad he's still doing things. Yeah, jumping is OP. It's fun. I kind of hope they don't go back on it at this point. I hope we're kind of just in a jumping in from games era now. You hate it. Fair. Ah, yeah, give us a triple jump now. I could level up if I find another resting spot. Oh boy, maybe this was dangerous. Kind of a lot of people there. Jeez. Alright, dogs. Oh, I have way less health than I thought when that happened. Jeez. Kind of going through my heels here. Yeah, that fireball, that was no good. Well, we seem to be getting close to something important. Ah! Jeez. Not so much for pillaging that corpse. Oh, great. Let's just do it. This is always a pretty good combo, at least. Yep. Easy. Blacklight armor. Therefore, try horse. Wait, why can't we get on our horse here? The hell? Seems like a programming error. I expected grace. Here we go. Yeah, may as well get strength up at this point. Endurance, vigor, pretty good. Dexterity's at 60. I mean, is there any reason? I mean, we can always just teleport right back if there's nothing here. There seems to be nothing here. Sniper. No, there's that. Seems interesting. Okay. Going up. Well, this better be cool. Nope. Wing stance. Oh, you again. Won't he be surprised? You're almost done with Souls-like. Well, there's still some more Resident Evil, so Resident Evil Code Veronica very much on the to-do list. There's a couple of immersive sims I'd like to do. I've got Dishonored 2 on a Steam sale for very cheap, so I want to do that. Also, I want to finally play the System Shock 1 remake all the way through. So maybe a Tomb Raider at some point. Man, I was thinking about doing the Yakuzas. Honestly, there's... the series has kind of been in a weird spot lately. But maybe Yakuza 0. Oh, we're already here. Didn't think we were quite here yet. Okay, that was a bit greedy. Cool looking boss, man. That shit. I'm not doing a ton of damage to her, huh? Ah. Jesus. Oh, nice range. Oh, still going. Somehow that all missed me. Oh. Oh boy. Okay. Could have been worse. Oh, okay. That was lucky. And the bleed. Holy shit. Ah, damn it. But now things get harder. Ow. Come on, camera. Oh, there we go. Because the zero is an extra life stretch goal. It's a long game. I think we've learned that promising to play long video games as a stretch goal is not always a great idea. Geez, that was fast. Oh, dang. Oh, why am I attacking instead of healing? Oh, I missed anyways. Agreed. Getting a lot more magic this time. Damn it. What am I doing? Back. Rolled into it instead of away. Jeez. These are long combos. Oof. I am blowing it. Why am I in? This is not Millennia. I should not be starting the fights. I should be waiting for openings. Oof. I'm using way too much healing already. Oh, yeah, that was bad. We can't even do Legend of the Cocoa Crystal Coconut anymore. We got slapped for that last time. I've already done all the Pixel remasters on my own time. God damn it. Yeah, come on. Why are those first attempts always so good? Oh, what did I miss? I'm gonna scroll up, babe. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I didn't miss nothing. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. What did she say? Yeah, Half Moon Joe. Oh, this is about the Nancy Drew gave. I see. Yeah. You're Tomb Raider now. Look, we'll get there. We'll get there. Vamping for Half Moon Joe. I'd be married a long time ago. Jeez, that's so. Oh my god. Oh, I didn't pick this up. There we go. Come on, do something. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so bad at that. Whoa, really? Oh my god. Why was that first attempt so good? I don't see myself being a stalker or a Metro guy, but who knows? upgrade. Of course, my souls are all the way over there. Cyberpunk, I guess we can give that another go. I don't know. Oh, really? Ugh. I think jump attacks are the way. How are you still going? Ugh. I am trading way too much. Oh my god. What am I doing? She must be able to be staggered. Oh my god, that is insanely fast. Not much I can do about that. I didn't think that was gonna hit. Ugh. Oh, I knew that was coming. That's faster than I expect. We're learning. I mean, maybe I do Fallout 1. I played Fallout 1 a little bit at some point. There's probably other old game franchises I'd maybe rather do. This is Rellana's sister, creatively named Rellana. I never really did much Fallout 2. There's all sorts of classic games. I maybe want to play an Ultima at some point, be a real old head. It's hard to tell when these combos end, man. Wasteland? Oh boy, that's old. Or like newer ones. I think I can kind of roll around like a maniac here. Yeah, it's kind of have to spam roll to get through this fight is what I'm learning, I think. Come on. Fine. Got caught there. That hit me. Oh, here we go. Didn't get that leave quite yet, but soon. Oh, don't get too thirsty for it. All right, here we go. There it is. Nice bleed timing, honestly, huh? Oh. All right. Gotta be a little further away for that, I think. We really aren't doing that much damage. I wonder if it's worth going on another hunt for some more Skibidi tree fragments, but I think we can brute force this. She slices, she dices. Jesus. Stupid. I got a little caught there, honestly. You ever played the PC game, The Incredible Sheep? Oh, yeah, back in my school days. You know, there's a, speaking of Ghosts and Goblins, there's like a Ghosts and Goblins spin-off of The Incredible Machine, somehow. Oh, good night, Bucket. Ugh. So my souls. Oh boy. Ah, come on. Oh. Fine. Oh. Ow. I don't know. Oh. Like, I have this vulnerability after my jump dodge just because I'm ducking so much, it helps. Oh, this isn't good. Well. Ow. Shouldn't have done that. Oh, we're fine. Okay. Bleed. Are you gonna phase transition, actually? Nope. That's fine. Nice. Cool. God, she's cool. Ah. No, it's going so well. Ugh. Kind of ran out of stamina. Okay, we're doing good though. God, that's cool. You're playing the Myth games now. I played Myth. This sounds like I'm saying Myth with a lisp. Jeez. Ah. Oh boy. Oh boy. Stop doing that. Oh boy. Yep. Don't think I make it to 600? I mean, I feel like with Promised Concert, yeah. Well, the name wasn't the problem with Mega Man, just doing a Monday night stream every week. Came a lot. I mean, the name was maybe a problem, but yeah. Ah, jeez. Oh. Still going. Oh my god, getting hit a lot. Ugh. See a bucket. And up we go. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get 600 on this fight. And these fights are all pretty hard. I don't know if you heard. Done? Ah, Jesus. Oh! Oh my god. You saw with that crossy thing? Oh my god. She's not giving me a moment here. That's... this sucks. Ugh, am I going through way too many heals? What was that? Mike! I was like, this is gonna stagger her for sure. Why heal? Stupid. Would you stop with the head slicing thing? Oh, Supermassive. Thank you so much for 2 months. Appreciate that, Supermassive. Yeah, the music's great here. It's good stuff. Alrighty. 3 Kimmy, thank you for following. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Whoa. Super magic attack to start here. Yeah. Oh, God, I hate when I miss. Ugh. Oh, my God. Alright, we'll just double heal. Why not? Oh. It's been rough. It's been rough. We'll get there. There's plenty of classic games I still want to play. I mean, we'll probably do Parasite Eve 2 at some point this Halloween, which is, like, approaching somehow. There's a Valkyrie Chronicle or something Chronicle. Oh my god. Cool. It's always better when she does the other one. Yeah. At least I catch her when she does that. So many heals, so little damage. What? How is it getting so bad? What games do you associate with summer and winter? Winter. I don't know. I think Zelda games generally have a bit of a wintry flavor to them for me. Except for Wind Waker, which of course has some summer vibes. Yeah, I do kind of want to play Thief after watching Chuck play that. Too worried about the souls there. It cost me. Oh, great. Well, I love when she does 2 of these. All right. This is a rough streak right here. It's a rough streak right here all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on. Oh, man, that Dort light must be affecting my reaction timing. I guess I associate Kingdom Hearts with Christmas. Oh, come on. I was rolling. Oh, you gotta give me that game. I need that. I don't... Like, what's getting better for a moment, and now it's pretty bad again. I'm not getting anything going. Oh boy. That's good. Yeah, sorry. Oh, shouldn't have done that. There we go, finally some hits. I'm running out of stamina. Oh boy. Rolled that one too early. I got a bathroom real quick, be right back. Ugh. God in footfalls engraved in ash. Do, 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 do. Yeah, Halo, I pretty heavily associate with the fall. I washed my hands. Shut the hell up. Sometimes she's a bit Millennia-esque, to be honest. I hate when I get caught by that. Oh, that's early. Oof. Don't die here. Oh boy. There's the bleed. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh yeah, let's go. That felt cool, huh? Oh shit, it's happening. Ah, good enough. Oh, right. It's fine. It's fine. Damn it. Oh, I thought you were done. Ah, no! Okay, that used to be safe in phase 1. It's not there. We're learning. I think you have to jump the moons. You can't just roll them. Rolling them is hard. You're supposed to jump them. She does the third one to her, which I forget. You think General Grievous would be in the top tier difficulty as a FromSoft boss? I mean, I know that Jedi Survivor has some Souls vibes, but can you imagine they like really went hard on that? All right, this is fun though. I do like this fight. Yeah. Well, I got my souls. But who really lost that exchange when you think about it, huh? Damn it. Oh boy. How are you not done? Oh boy, yeah, being aggressive helps a lot. Nice bleed. Oh, really? Oh boy. Yep. Alright, missed that one. Yeah. Yeah, Grievous was much cooler in the cartoon. We all know that. Did anybody watch that weird dark show that Tartakovsky did? I probably said that wrong, sorry. I was like, this is what you're doing now? Really? A crude humor dog cartoon? Kennedy? Not Primal. Although, I don't have any interest in Primal. Not exactly my thing. Yeah, it's like gross humor, which is strange. Oh. Ah, fine. There's the bleed. Oh boy. Let's go! Ah! Funny healing. It's fine. Ah, so greedy. That was my bad. I blew it. Ah, we're learning. I rolled in. I should have rolled out. It was a joke. It was a joke. It happens. God, dodging the moons feels really good. Oh, please. Oh, bullshit. Jeez. I hate the swords because you have to kind of back off and wait for them. Her stagger meter goes down. Ugh. Brother Christian, thank you so much for 14 months. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope you have a good weekend. Oh boy, caught me there. Ugh. Oh boy. Whoa, why didn't I? I ran out of stamina. That's not good. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, well. Right. In phase 2, that combo goes longer now. I gotta remember that. Normally, when she does like the cross attack, that's the end of the combo. In phase 2, it's not. Kind of an awkward transition there. That was the problem. Couldn't get the second stagger. I didn't have the stamina to follow up with my Spirit Ash, which hurt me. Oh, come on. Okay, the problem here is I'm too worried about my freaking souls. But I got him. Yay. I mean, 40,000 souls isn't nothing, I guess, but at this point in the game. Level's like 120,000. Love when she does that. Got away with one there. Oop. Whoa, okay, Jesus. Lust for Chaos 85, thank you for subscribing with Prime. Appreciate that. Hope you have a great weekend. Thank you. Got the hype train going. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Lust for Chaos. Alrighty. Oh, Castle Penis, I'm on my way. And I'm loving every step. Oh, ideal rune placement. How can we lose now? Whoa. What is going on? Whatever, I need to hit you. Can't lose my stagger. Oh, that was bad. No, well. Mike Minotti, I'm on my way. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, buddy. Buddy! Stop missing! What am I doing? Jeez. Oh my god. Oh, what was I doing? The greed. The greed. Angutan. Angutan. Yeah, Planet Earth's good shit, man. Getting Planet Earth on Blu-ray for that first time, putting it in your PS3 on HDTV, that was the greatest thing in the world, wasn't it? Oh, okay. Your PS3 came with a copy of Grove, so that's like Planet Earth. But this will work. Actually, yes. Kind of got lucky on the pattern, but I'll take it. There it is. Oh, damn it, again with that. It's alright. Okay, that's a little greedy, Mike. That's right, the combo doesn't end there. Yeah, where are my openings? That's the question. Huh. Huh. Alright, when you have the swords out, I'm just gonna roll away from you. Got it. Got it. Got it. Understood. With no fucking sword, man. Oh my god. Oof. Thought I was caught there for sure. Yeah. The explosion! I mean, I can take advantage of that phase transition pretty good now. All right. Gotta side roll that. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting phase 1 down pretty nicely, at least. Being aggressive helps a lot. Doing the jump slashes. And even doing the weapon art when after I stun her, has worked pretty well. Hey, Chad. Good night. Okay. We're fine. I didn't think that was gonna hit. Sign. That's less fine, but never mind. I was gonna say we'll make it work. No, we won't. Oh, ideal route placement. Come at me. You're really tall. Got it. Yeah. Oh, that's not good. so. The stamina recharge. Maybe drink instead of... Yeah. Oh boy. That's fine. There it is. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that, Mike. That's fine. That's not fine. Oh, it's good. It's good. Could have been worse. Oh boy. Jeez, that does a lot of damage. So does that. Okay. Oh, I really was hoping that would stagger you or something. Oh, that's going longer than I thought. Okay, we're not dead. Of course not. I can actually punish this. Well, too early. That one's later. Whew. Close though. It's fine. It's fine. We're learning. If I could have, if I could have got one more stagger, I thought it was close. Maybe that wasn't a possibility. I don't know. Gotta remember, that last one is even more delayed than I think there. Where's my runes? Are there? Oh, bad start. Alright, we gotta try to redeem this by getting an early one of these. Never mind. I should just let her kill me, but we'll keep going. I thought that would have staggered. I guess it's a little early. Like I said, not a great start. Every Mikey, I'm on my way. Hey, those are my runes. Ah. Oh, caught you. Oof. No! Damn it, Mike. Stupid. Yeah, I gotta be a little greedy there. Alright, lesson learned. Don't have time to heal before. Only after. I didn't want to. I want to sit before because if I try to, I can't do my weapon art and heal after I hit him with the big stagger move. I'm so low on health. So time for sauna. Thank you for 3 months. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hope you have a great weekend. You know what to do there at least now. Ugh, don't get double caught by that. Oof. What's worse, an orangutan with a knife or an elephant that throws pigeons at you? What do you mean pigeons? Like the bird? I mean, do any of them have malicious intent, I suppose, is my question. I think I need more information. Oh. Damn it. Good boy. I just have to go for it. She always does this, it seems like. Nope. Wait, why weren't you phase transitioning? Ah, I gotta actually wait for it. Stupid me. That would have been awesome if I didn't just assume she was phase transitioning. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I can outrun the orangutan, but the elephant has a ranged attack, so that seems bad. Jesus. God, almost too good of a start. Go. I need that other bleed. Oh, just one? Damn. Okay. Slap it with those. fine. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Lots of healing, actually, so we're fine. That can hurt. Okay. There we go. I don't know why I'm doing this. Feels ill-advised. Really? No! The camera! Ah! So close. Damn it. Oh. Oh, I so had it there. Shit. That was a... I'm choking so hard on this fight. Holy shit. Oh, that should have been it. I'm learning. You gotta really look for your openings in that second phase. She just, like, ran up to me. Boy. We're using flasks. Just not using summons. Rabid. Alright. Oh, great. Super unideal rune placement. Ah! Scaring me, lady. Yeah. This is always good. Always do that with that. Oh. Lucky. Oh, shit. Get over there, get over there, get over there. Okay. Okay. It was risky. Maybe I should have rolled out of there first. Good. God, that moon attack is so cool. It's gotta be maybe the coolest attack in the game. Whoa. Looked a little awkward. Got there though. Okay, don't die. Oh, I thought that might hit me. This might be a mistake. I don't have any rolls. All right. There we go. Oh, it's fine. I thought that would have killed you. Woo! That is a cool fight. Oof. That's a lot of souls. Hey, Supermassive. All right, yeah, first try. Jeez, that did take a lot longer. That was a bit harder than I remember it, to be honest. But super, super fun. Ooh, we can almost level up again. Oof. Pretty good run there. Yeah, we need like... Yeah. My penguin. Let's see my penguin. How's my penguin looking? Oh, hell yeah. Look, everybody, it's Tolkoto the penguin, looking pretty good. Looking spry. Very nice. Good little tutters. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Tolkoto is looking strong. Oof. It's turned out to be super bitey. That's funny. He's so proud of me not using summons. Don't have to be ashamed of your dad anymore. Oh, I didn't actually level up. Oof. Oh, I'm 2,000 away. Whoops. Yes, my eyes. That's fine. We'll start to match up again. Once we get strength to 30, might not be too much of a reason to keep doing it. Anyone else see Susie's video about Silent Hill 2? I am not. Oh, this is the way I came in. I guess I was saying, like, man, I remember that being easier, but right, last time I used summons. That's right. It might be coreless. Oh, there we go. We're gonna get another fragment. That's good.
Hello again. Did you meet my
Lita.
compatriots? They're quite the congregation.
The cutest penguin ever named Tolkoto. That's right, babe.
Far and wide. Doubtless it'd have all come to blows at first glance. Were it not for the charm kindly Nicola put upon us. This is what allows us to serve together. The work of a living God. Wondering about the horn stand? True enough. In any other circumstance, he'd be at our throats. Long ago, Queen Marika commanded Sir Mesmer to purge the Tower folk. A cleansing by fire. It's no wonder the Hornsent holds the Erdtree in contempt. That aside, man is bad. And in this regard, the Tower, they were never saints. They just happened to be on the losing side of a war, but it's still a wretched shame.
We have enough to... Yes. Hell yeah.
You have a knack for timing, my fellow. I found the site of a new cross. Take this. Mikola has said as much himself. He wishes now to throw it all away. He says the act, though undoubtedly painful, will sear clean the Erdtree's wanton sin. The truth of his claim can be found at each cross, which is evidence enough to earn my belief. Go to the misshapen tree of Umbra. In that forsaken place, blood must.
I need this map. Big maps. I should check my Skibidi fragments, get an idea of where some other ones are. Well, they're at Morse Ruins. Where's Morse Ruins? Let's see. Yeah, definitely want to get the map. We might go scatter tree fragment hunting for a moment here. Kill this guy, of course. Oh, rude. Got him. So yeah, it seems like there's some like here-ish. That's where Bale is in that mountain, right? I think. Yeah. We actually kind of got something over there. We can go back at some point. What we got? We still got Mesmer, the Lord of Frenzy Flamed or whatever. There's that hippo. The tree thing, Commander Gaius. There's a cross. Yeah, creepy sunflower. The mother of fingers or whatever. You got nothing to say to me, huh? Where's this 13th one? Alright, in this camp, it looks like. This camp. And then there's one here too. Yeah. This camp? I don't think this is the camp, honestly. Oh, no, it was. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, ow, ow. Oh my god. Just keep missing. Oh, I'm gonna die. Jeez. At least it's right there. Just run and get those and run out. What's this? Oh, great. Oh, shouldn't have done that. Alright, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yes. Yeah, pretty convenient how close these all are to each other. What's this cave about? No, you guys got some help. Oh, never mind. Guess I just missed. Heal from afar. Near, far, I'll heal from afar. I vaguely remember this place. Let's see. Maybe one here if we can even get to it. What is all that about? I don't want to fight you, birds. Thought there might be a grace here, but not really. Hey, Crydex, thank you for 17 months. Appreciate that. What do you say is the most thrilling roller coaster I've ridden? Probably Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, it's Guardians of the Galaxy. Pretty sure that's the only roller coaster I've ever been on that reaches 60 miles per hour as, like, the top speed. Well, yeah, I'm not making it down there yet. I guess we'll keep seeing where this goes. Or this is where the sunflower is. No. There's one. Nice. Still only need 2 per thing. There's still a couple over there. I don't even have a map for this place. Maybe we can get it. Since we're here. I remember you. Yeah, Torrent took the brunt of that one. I'm just going to not fight you. That's interesting. Ah, one of these, right. Get to find the stone. This way, thank you. There we go. Whee! Where are we going? Hey, Pillar. Thank you so much for 20 months. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Where the hell is this thing going? Why can't I open my map? There's nobody around me. There we go. Hope you have a good weekend. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Who's down here? Oh. The sound didn't like that for some reason. You not stagger, buddy? Am I gonna get fist weapons if I beat this guy? Hey. Not cool. There's a bleed. Take that. Ow. Ah! Oh, damn, okay. Jay Mackey, thank you for 2 months. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I got kind of robbed there by that big bear. Jeez. I thought I was supposed to be the big bear. Here we go. Oh, great. Good start. Great start. Keep jumping at me. Camera! Camera. I blame camera on that one. That's some good fisted. Yeah. Stop that backstep. Cheating, I say. Whoa. Man, once he gets going with that. Thanks again, Jay Mackey. I do appreciate that. Hope you have a great weekend. Yeah, bears are no joke. Of course, we almost had them the first time again. Missed. Oh, not again. So it's just a don't be near him thing, I guess? I don't know. It's swatted. Go. Idiot. You don't got none. Don't back roll. Or side roll, I guess. Oh, that's good. Okay, just don't surprise me with the bear and we're gonna be good. There we go. First try. I'm not gonna lie, a little intrigued by these bleed fists. Oh, it's strength? That's a strength weapon. Guess that makes sense. We have these ones, the hook claws. Their decks, they even have more bleed buildup, actually. Claw weapons, we did claw weapons. Okay. Now, I think there's actually some couple more that I can get down here. At least one more. Which is important. Let me make sure I understand this. Is this just the one did I get this one? Let me see. Because it says it's here. Which, wouldn't I have gotten that if I'd been here? Though, that looks higher. I think we get it from over here. Alright. The claw! Fruit, gross. Yep. The hell's down there? I guess that's the Morphed Ruins. I'm not going down there yet. What the hell's happening over there? A dragon, huh? I don't think I want to. There it is. Leave me alone, birds. You die. Aha. Here's the 500 more. Oh my god. Your eye, you might need that. Still only need 2 to level up this. Nice. Alright. Where's 17 at? I think we got 17. Yeah, like there. But that church, we should be going to that. Might be 2 there. Yeah, we got that one. So I think we did. Maybe there is one here. Apparently there's one in this camp somewhere. Let me see. There should be a statue of... Yeah, right there. Look at that. Now run. There's a ton up here.
Thou shalt not evade
Oh boy.
the flame of Mesmer.
Oh, bullshit. Oh boy. Going poorly. Finally. Don't heal? You said don't heal. There we go.
How could this be? Queen Marika.
Prayer room key. Rune arc, don't want that. This might be 2. Yep. Hell yeah. And the next one's in Temple Town Ruins. How do I get there? Hello? I'm getting all the skibidis right now, you know? Like, the next one's I think like on this thing. Yeah, I'm not really sure how to get down there. Although... well, we have been down there. Keep running from here. Right. If I get one more, I might be able to level it up twice. That's a lot of Skibidi levels. Basically setting ourselves up for the next stream now, right? Tomorrow we'll go after some more big bosses, which I bet will include Mesmer at least, which will be fun. All my homies love Mesmer. Oh god, you again. take that tree. I could level up probably, huh? Got it mesmerized. Right, went up that last time. Couple 10 rooms. There should be somebody kind of hanging out of a window or something. You're a big boy. Oh, doggo. Oh. Ah, damn it. What, a second dog? Yeah. Oh, Site of Grace. I'm not gonna sit here because I don't want all these dogs to respawn. But good to have. Maybe I should actually because I can't level up. And actually level this up. That's a big one. Sure feels like we're getting pretty strong. That's a lot of Skibidi level ups we got since we got here. Where is this guy? Whoops. Okay, look at the picture again. Supposedly, hanging out the side of a covered walkway. Where's a covered walkway? It'd be up there. There's a covered walkway. Ah. Aha, there he is. Now. Gotta do some tricky double jumping with Torrent, it looks like. But hey. And there it is. Easy peasy. So let's see what's up here. So many Scooby snacks. Ah. Ow. Ow. Jesus, buddy. I am shocked I didn't get hit. Yeah. Oof. That was not easy. Is that Artorias' moveset? What it kind of was, wasn't it? But from what I remember, might not be great. That's that'd be cool. Well, I'm two-hand sorting. Well, that seems pretty good. Who needs damage negation? Just do more damage. Alright. Well, that's pretty good. That's neat. Alright. Alright, I think we're probably pretty good on these things for a moment, honestly. I assume we're going to be going through all this mess soon, next. Right. Yeah, we need 3 now. Boo. Lame. Boo. Maybe, alright, looks like that's maybe later. I guess I don't know where we're going next, but we'll figure it out. I just want to text the thing real quick, see how strong we are after all that. After all that work. Is Vitelli still streaming? Yep. Careful, Mike. Yes. Good, good, good. After we get these souls back and kill him. He has 21 more hours to go. What are you talking about? I knew he's like a marathon, but what? Our boy needs to sleep. Ideal soul placement. The marathon has gotten out of hand. This is his job now? Just streaming and never sleeping? Oh no. You know what? I want to go to the round table too. I want to see. I don't know if we'd ever use it, but I kind of. The Rellana stuff's actually probably magic based, but it looks so cool. I like to. Someday I'll do a run where I'm just Rellana. Am I going the wrong way? Where am I? No. Is he playing Big Walk? I don't know. I'd be careful it's not any spoilers then. I thought he already beat that game. I thought he reviewed it. Oh, they found me, Marty. I don't know how they did it, but they found me. All right, let's get out of here. It's really neat. This site of grace like shows you so many points of interest. Like I think that's where Mesmer's hanging out. That fire cathedral thing. All right. Yeah, cool equipment. Rellana's gloves. Why is Rellana's gloves so heavy? They look like nothing. The funsies. Yeah, Rellana's twin blades. Look at that. And the twin moons. Wow, 72 int to use that. That's crazy. That's wild. It's neato. Alright. Froggies have been made. 2 big bosses down. Got a lot more Skibidi fragments. So we'll definitely be streaming some more this weekend. Probably tomorrow. So we're making good time here. No minor bosses. A couple, but yeah. Like, I forget where the hippo is. I thought I would have fought the hippo by now. Not yet. Lots of deaths. That's for sure. Yeah, fun stuff, though. I really like Rellana. That Rellana fight is cool. I think that twin moon attack might be my favorite attack in the game. It's so fun to dodge at. It looks so cool. This weapon art has been useful for that. I know I got this weapon so early, but I just have really liked it. Alrighty. I should raid Mama the Telly. Alright. There you go, everybody. Decided Jesse Vitelli. Show some love. Don't know. Got laid off today because Walmart sucks, I guess. Like, obviously, but like somehow this is also Walmart's fault. Christ. All right, everyone. Have a good night. See you soon. Bye-bye. Woo.